Hey friends, I hope that you are doing well today, and I hope that you had a good Easter. But here's the thing, Easter was different this year, right? Um, Maybe because there is fear or concern or worry in your life right now, or maybe because you're just stuck in this rut where it just feels like the same thing day after day right now because of what we're in. Um, and it just felt literally like any other day that you're going through right now. And it wasn't this big celebration that we're used to doing where we have a bigger band at the 11:05 service or special music at the 9:30 service and everybody's wearing bright colors and we just have this joyful celebration of God's great love for us through his sacrifice and through overcoming death, through the resurrection and the life of Jesus Christ. Which is wonderful, wonderful news still, even in the midst of this. But it just might be hard to feel that right now. And Thomas, in his sermon, talked to us about God's peace and it being his presence and that his presence is enough. And we've been talking about God's peace a lot. I know I talked about it in the weekly devotional last week. If you were there on Wednesday night at the Zoom Hangout, we talked about it there. And I'm going to read about it again because I really like this passage. It's kind of been it's one of my favorite passages in the Bible, maybe my favorite. And it also just kind of been a thing for me this year and continues to be. And so I'm going to read for you Philippians 4. And I'd love for you to follow along if you have your Bible, which you should probably go get it if you don't have it, or in a notebook and a pen. If you want to jot down notes. And we'll probably have you write something down too here in just a moment. But Philippians 4, verses 4 through 9. Okay? I'm going to read this for you. But this is out of the translation called The Message. I like the way that it says this for us. Don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, God's peace, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. Summing it all up, friends, I'd say you'll do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious. The best, not the worst. The beautiful, not the ugly. Things to praise, not things to curse. Put into practice what you learned from me, what you heard and saw and realized. Do that, and God, who makes everything work together, will work you into his most excellent harmonies and peace. Don't worry or fret. New International Version says, don't be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition. So, replace your worry and your fret with prayer. And here's the thing. Is it going to just all of a sudden solve it where all of a sudden we're not going to worry about things again or fret about things again? No. We come to Sunday, right? And we have Easter and we have these moments in our life where all of a sudden maybe we experience God in a deeper way. At the end of Fall Retreat or at the end of Love Austin, you have this great weekend and you feel this wonderful sense of God's peace in your life. And we would be at fault at times to think that all of a sudden everything's going to just be peaceful and all peachy keen and happy all the time. But no, Monday comes. Fret and worry is still going to come. And we talked about this last week about death and resurrection. Here and now. Loss and renewal. There are moments of renewal in our life, but we will experience loss. But here's the thing. Maybe you're still in this time where you are feeling loss in a deep way, but renewal will come. And I think through our faith in Jesus Christ, we can believe in that. That through Jesus Christ and the message of Easter and the message of Christ's resurrection, we can believe that renewal will always come in our life. That even when Monday comes and fret and worry is back, we can replace that worry with prayer. And so sometimes the renewal just comes without us even knowing. Peace that transcends understanding, we don't understand it. But sometimes we have to work for it. And this is what Paul is telling us. Don't fret or worry, but replace it with prayer. What are those things right now that are weighing you down and burdening you? Have you gone to God with it? Have you talked to God about it? Because you know what? God is listening. God is always listening. God is always and already there. You just got to start talking. And so the notebook that you have, if you have that in front of you, and pen, why don't you start writing down those prayers that you have? Just talk to God about it. And see if renewal doesn't come, even if it's just for a moment. And renewal comes in many different ways. Maybe it comes through a song that you hear that all of a sudden completely turns your day around. And you were having the worst day, but then one single song completely changes it. Or maybe it was somebody sending you a text at just the right moment. And you were struggling and you were hurting. And then all of a sudden you heard the ding on your phone and you look. And it was just the perfect words at that moment. Renewal. Or maybe it's just the resetting through a deep breath. I know when I get very frustrated with my kids and I want to lose it, sometimes I lose it, but sometimes I just take a deep breath. I stop and I experience renewal. And it's God's peace. God's presence is with you even in this time. And so when you're worried, when you're fretting, why don't you take it to God? You may not fix it immediately, but maybe you'll experience a moment of renewal even for a moment of resurrection, where you remember life and you can breathe again and move forward. And as you experience loss again, may you learn how to approach it with prayer and reading the Bible, thinking about things like he's saying that are true and noble and authentic and beautiful, and things to praise and things that are above. And maybe see that you experience moments of renewal more often and more often. Maybe it's writing 3 things down every day that you're thankful for. There's all kinds of practices that you can do where you can replace your fret and your worry and experience God's peace in your life, because it's God's peace is infinite and always available for us. Just got to learn how to practice and to see it. So, may God's peace be upon you today, even as you hear this. If you need a deep breath, may your deep breath be filled with God's Spirit and peace to help you move forward in these days. You're not alone, friends. If you need anything, let me know. We can pray together, or just talk, or I can just listen, whatever. And so feel free to reach out. But I love y'all and miss you, and I hope that you may experience God's renewal and resurrection in your life today and every day. All right, y'all take care.